John, where do we even start with that? 3-0 down after half an hour, came back, ultimately lost again, 4-3. How are you feeling?
Not too good, like. But listen, you know, well, you got to accept in football. It doesn't always go your way. Wigan were better than us today. Won't make any doubts about that, you know. And sometimes the other team play better than you. And there's various reasons why that happens. One of the big reasons is a shot in the arm for the goal, you know, and we've given them a stupid goal for the first goal. And then we seemed hell bent on trying to better them and giving them even more calamity goals. But they were good. Wigan were good. Passed the ball well, pressed us well. But they had the shot of adrenaline. You know, the first 10 minutes, we've pinned them back. We've had 4 corners. It's one-way traffic, and you can't see Wigan getting near our goal. And then they get a goal with the first. Well, it was a culmination of 2 attacks, and they get a goal with the first one, and then that gives them the lift. And you know, they didn't need a second invitation to keep going into our box. And to be honest, 3-0 flattered us at half time. Could have been 5. So you know, we spoke about it at half time and made a couple of changes. No reflection on the lads who come off. Could have took anyone off, with the exception of Mark Hughes. I thought was outstanding all day. But you know, we wanted to repair the damage that was done to the goal difference. So the first message was to win the second half. Well, we won the second half quite comfortably. And I still don't think we did enough to say we wanted anything out the game. I think Wigan, you know, looked lively on the counter as well, which they would do. So I don't think we deserved anything out of the game. But we could play that game again and there'd be a different result with the same players involved. So that's frustrating. Frustrating for the fact that, you know, 4 out the bottom 6, I think we've took 1 point off. And that is frustrating. And we tried to guard against this before the game. You know, football is very much a mental approach. We've only been favourites twice to win a game this season, and we haven't won either of them. And so the expectations become different, and the players' mentality becomes different. And as much as you try and stop that, it happens. And you know, I've done a lot of psychological research over the years, and unfortunately, you know, getting players to change their mode of thinking in an hour or 2 hours is very difficult. But we showed a lot of fight in the second half. The big disappointing thing for me is that without deserving anything out the game, we've still been mugged because it's a penalty. At 3-2, it's a penalty. And, you know, I've been in football long enough to know that if a team's winning 3-0, they get back to 3-3. You'd like to think there would only be one winner in that game. Once he deems it's a foul, he's got to give the penalty. He's a yard and a half inside the box. You've seen it. I've seen it. I seen it on the time, and then we shouted at the time, and you know, when you see it again, it becomes worse every time you see it, to be honest. You know, our players forced their lad back by shielding the ball well, and the only pull down was a yard and a half inside the box. So, and then, you know, you're chasing the game, and we had a good go at it. They made a couple of great blocks, a little bit more composure than maybe we could have scored. But if I'm honest, I would say that would have been harsh on Wigan. I think Wigan deserved to win the game today.
Just on the mentality thing, how difficult is that? Because as a team, as a unit, you kept so many clean sheets recently and been so difficult to score goals against, and today they didn't look like the same people.
It happens in football, and you know, if they were ultra consistent and they were infallible, they'd be playing in the Premiership, probably on £100,000 a week. So, you know, they're doing the best at this level. Today wasn't good enough. We know it wasn't good enough. The way we played the game wasn't good enough today. But did we expect to go all season unbeaten? No. The fact that it's Wigan that's bottom of the league is immaterial. It doesn't matter who beats you. You passed up the chance of getting 3 points. So, you know, we have been on a good run, and it's important how we respond to this. You need a little bit of luck along the way. We didn't have that great deal of luck today, that sometimes we've had in the past. But we've got to play better, and you know, I've been saying this all week. We've got to improve. We know we've got to improve, and hopefully we will. We've got to pass the ball better. We've got to make better decisions. And we can't influence what other people's decisions make. You know, i.e. the referees. So you shouldn't be beholden to that. And we'll work hard and we'll do our best.
And just on the penalty decision and the decisions on a wider note, it seems like not a week goes by when there isn't one of those contentious ones, either for you or against you. There's a talking point after the game. Are we seeing more of that now?
Yeah, you've seen them go for a penalty appeal late on. It's a clear dive. The referee's dismissed it, but he hasn't booked him for diving. We've had our goalkeeper booked 3 times this season with time wasting, nowhere near as bad as what their keeper did today. The 6 minutes that was put up, and listen, we'd be doing it if we were winning. So, but it doesn't make it right that you don't get punished or it doesn't get added on. And there was probably 4 minutes out of the 6 wasted today, and nothing was done about it. Players going down, injured. You know, if you think about the 6 minutes, there's 2 bookings, 3 subs, 2 injuries and 4 goals. And you only put 6 up. And that's not even accounting that there's been any time wasting, which has been obvious all day. So the 6 was questionable anyway, but then to allow the time wasting to continue worse in the 6 minutes. And listen, we'd be doing it ourselves. So, but we'd expect it not to be allowed to do it. And you know that when you're talking about referees, when you've had a 4-3 thriller, there's something wrong, isn't it? So we should just focus on the game, and you could say 2 open attacking teams, or you could say 2 poor defences. I think it's a little bit of both today.